For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Arrow Video Blu-ray release for 1974's What Have They Done to Your Daughters? Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And the film was written and directed by Massimo Dallamano, and if that name sounds familiar, he also directed What Have They Done to Solange? It was part of an intended What Have They Done trilogy that Mr. Dallamano never quite got to finish. And What Have They Done to Your Daughters is a really interesting police procedural murder mystery giallo movie with a social conscience. Now, granted, it is a pretty sleazy social conscience, but a social conscience nevertheless. The movie revolves around a police detective and an assistant district attorney who discover a young girl hanging from the loft of a rented loft. From there, during their investigation, they open a Pandora's box of teenage prostitution, corruption on pretty much every level of government that you could imagine. And at the same time, a meat cleaver wielding leather-clad biker is going around bumping off everybody who knows anything about the prostitution ring. And all of that really makes for an interesting and a unique kind of murder mystery police procedural giallo movie. Now, What Have They Done to Your Daughters has all the accoutrements that you would expect from this kind of movie, but the film's trying to make a social statement about corruption and how corruption sort of has a trickle-down effect from the most powerful people down to even children. And that was pretty interesting. Now, granted, again, it's presented in a very sleazy fashion, but this movie has a social conscience. Nevertheless, it all adds up to a really interesting film, at least for the first 3/4 of the movie. The ending of the film leaves a lot to be desired. For as deep as this movie goes, the police procedural elements are fantastic. The detective story elements are fantastic. Watching the detective and the assistant district attorney peeling away the layers of this case and discovering more and more and how deep it goes as the film went on was really quite good. The giallo murder mystery elements with the meat cleaver wielding biker, those were quite good. And then it seems like right when we get to the point of the big payoff, the movie just really ends in a very anticlimactic, lackluster fashion. Still, for the first 3/4 of this movie, I was definitely involved. I was compelled. I was digging the storyline. I was digging the detective elements. I was digging the giallo elements. This was a really different and unique kind of murder mystery, police procedural giallo movie that I recommend. Even though the ending of the film is a bit of a letdown, I still recommend What Have They Done to Your Daughters? Now, this Blu-ray from Arrow Video, if you've never seen the film, this Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to it. If you're a fan of What Have They Done to Your Daughters, definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray from Arrow Video and adding it to your collection. It sports a 2K restoration of the film from the original camera negative. The picture quality and the sound quality on this release were both pretty fantastic. Now, this is not a very flashy, very stylish kind of giallo movie, so you're not going to be wowed with some, Dario Argento type, visuals and style, but it's a great looking movie and it looks fantastic in this 2K restoration. The picture quality and the sound quality, I'd give them both at least a 4 out of 5. The Blu-ray features a booklet with a write-up about What Have They Done to Your Daughters from Michael, what was his name? Michael McKenzie. The booklet has a lot of photographs from the film inside, and it is a fairly lengthy, in-depth write-up about What Have They Done to Your Daughters. The sleeve is reversible. As you can see there on the reverse of the sleeve, you have the original poster art, or you have the newly commissioned artwork for the film. As far as extras are concerned, first up, we have Masters and Slaves. It's 19 minutes and 44 seconds in length. It is a video essay from critic Kat Ellinger in which she discusses themes of power, corruption, and decadence in the films of Massimo Dallamano. It's a very fascinating, very in-depth, very informative video essay about the films of Massimo Dallamano. Very interesting stuff there. Next up, we have Eternal Melody, an interview with composer Stelvio Cipriani from 2016. It's 49 minutes and 39 seconds in length. Mr. Cipriani discusses his childhood and learning to play the organ, playing the organ in the conservatory, and then eventually composing music for movies. Mr. Cipriani discusses composing music for films such as The Bounty Killer, The Police Ring, and What Have They Done to Your Daughters. He discusses his method for composing music and compares it to a baker baking bread. Very nice, very lengthy, informative interview with Mr. Cipriani. Next up, we have Dallamano's Touch, an interview with editor and longtime Dallamano collaborator Antonio Siciliano, recorded in 2016. It's 22 minutes and 22 seconds in length. Mr. Siciliano discusses working with Dallamano on What Have You Done to Solange and how that began their working relationship, which spanned many films, including What Have They Done to Your Daughters? He discusses Dallamano's directing style and how easily his footage was to edit together. He discusses the strict censorship at the time and how then even a PG-13 rating for a film was considered a death sentence. He also screened some pretty hardcore footage Dallamano shot for What Have They Done to Your Daughters that was not included in the film. We then get that hardcore footage presented by itself. It's 5 minutes and 5 seconds in length. And I can understand why it was not included in the film because it is pretty hardcore. We get English titles, we get a theatrical trailer, and we get an image gallery. We also get an audio commentary with Troy Howarth, author of So Deadly, So Perverse, a series of books examining the Italian giallo genre. I listened to about 20 minutes of Mr. Howarth's commentary over What Have They Done to Your Daughters. This guy is an Italian giallo expert. He is incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to Italian giallos. Listening to him talk about What Have They Done to Your Daughters was quite fascinating. I have to say, I do plan on watching the rest of the film with his commentary very soon. This is a very nice Blu-ray release for What Have They Done to Your Daughters from the folks over at Arrow Video. If you've not seen the film, I recommend it. This Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of What Have They Done to Your Daughters, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. The picture quality and the sound quality are both fantastic, and you get some really nice extras on this release. I'll put a link to Arrow's website in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen What Have They Done to Your Daughters, or What Have They Done to, or What Have You Done to Solange, please let me know your thoughts on both films down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, PB Sam 6, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby 86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, and Cliff Hostetter. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.